So it's a good morning from me and hopefully a good morning from a few of you others. Wednesday morning and it's live. We're going to use the bar, the only bar that's open today and tomorrow and the next day. So it's bar and roller Pilates for you. I'll use it as a technical moment to make sure that as we're doing all this stuff at home, we're also getting some kind of improvement in technique rather than just continuously repeating the same thing and the same thing. So here we are again, as happy as can be, waiting to start another day. Yesterday, just out of interest, I don't know whether anyone else had technical issues on the, I need to stay in camera, don't I? Oh, it's a long way down here. Technical issues with the internet. So when we came to Zoom 11 o'clock session, that Zoom session zoomed out, it just bombed. 30 minutes we all tried, which was incredible patience from everyone. But we really did try and get the session live and functioning. And in the end, we had to give up because there's nothing could be done. Good morning, Margaret. I hope you've got your sound. So there's nothing could be done to the internet yesterday, and today I'm hoping that it was just one of those things yesterday. We seem to have once a week something goes on with the actual connection through Wi-Fi. I've decided that the government decide to switch different broadbands off now and again to make sure that people don't overuse stuff. Good morning, Sarah Butler. You'll love this session. It is both the bar, so you will need a chair ready, and it's also the roller. So I have my little props here, bar and roller. The workout would be relatively technical, so I'm going to try and go slowly at it. I've been requested by Mr. Bathgate and a few others to do fewer reps, so that's what I'll try and do. But the reps will be slow, they'll be very deliberate, and my cueing, good morning Ken, my cueing will be as usual very specific to the pelvic position, staying in your neutral. Good morning, Patricia. Lovely to see you this week. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I'm waiting for people to come in. I'm just going to have a quick drink of water. I've definitely ended up dehydrated in the last couple of days, despite drinking plenty of water. You need something like a chair. You'll be using the bar straight away, so get your kit ready. I'm going straight into lots of kind of ankle rolling, flexing, hip squat, chair squat, plie, turn out, everything you can imagine that you do at the bar, and it's going to be slowly and very deliberate. Then we'll end up on the roller, and hopefully I'll get some chance to have you lying on your front. We'll just see how time goes, because once I get into teaching you, it's quite interesting. So I plan X, Y, Z, and I teach X and Y really, because obviously when I'm only teaching myself, I get through far more stuff, whereas when I'm articulating and being very deliberate, it's a bit slower. I hope we're having a great day, and it's lovely to wake up to the lovely weather, isn't it? I don't think I ever feel better than when it's sunny. Good morning, Carol, great to see you again, and Susan. So this is our morning routine, isn't it? Jane, hello there. Someone's just asked me if we're having Good Friday off. Well, the answer is no, we're not going to. We will take the bank holiday Mondays off. Good Friday, we're going to be here. Morning, Liz. We're going to be here for Zoom on Friday as well. So Friday for me will be a normal working day, although it's my youngest daughter's birthday. My youngest daughter will be 23 on Friday. That's Becca. So after the moments here, I intend to celebrate in my garage, which I'll set it up and make a Zoom picture as we celebrate remotely for our daughter. Anyway, today, if you're just joining us, you have your chair ready or your work surface ready. Morning, Lorna. And you have a roller ready. If you don't have a roller, don't worry, life will still work out just the same. Take note of what I do on the roller, because I suspect that either on Friday with the Tommy Tippy time, or next week on the Wednesday, I'll simply add weights to all the roller work, but I want good technique. Morning, Donna and Sue, lovely to see you too. So bar and roller ready, have a drink of water ready. I think the increased temperature, by the end of teaching, I can end up with quite a headache, and I can only assume that's dehydration. So, 12 people in the room. It is Wednesday, we are on week 7, and none of us are allowed to do anything other than what we've been doing still. We're all praying, aren't we, that somehow tomorrow we get to hear something incredible that gives us all hope that maybe something could slightly ease off, although I appreciate we're where we are for a reason. Okay, people, let's get this show on the road. Quick slurp of water from me. Put your coffee pots down, put your mugs down, take your slippers off, and let's see what happens. In terms of most of this workout, I think you're better off, as long as you can see me, if you want to move things, by all means do, but I think you're better off standing facing your piece of equipment. I've said it's going to be technical. I'm deliberately going to stand facing you initially just to get you going. So your core connect, pelvic floor, nose, spine, knees are soft, feet are just marginally apart, straight to your squat slowly, and back up again. So core connect, ribs, navel to spine, down you go, asking your body to be a whole rather than just be different segments. So breathing out into the squat, finding the perfect angles at the hips, and inhaling to come back up, or vice versa. It really doesn't matter. It's more that your breathing is your first exercise point of connection, and the moving and then the breathing core connect. The next time you're in your squat, you'll stay. So staying there just for your first few moments, fingertips to your hip bones and thumbs to your rib cage. Breath out to pelvic tilt, using the pelvic floor. Stay in your pelvic tilt. Remember, that's the slope of the lumbar area. Breathe in and out in this position, and don't let your bum cheeks activate. You've got to keep it all in the deep inner thigh, not inner thigh, and internal oblique. You're inhaling and exhaling just here. Shoulders are still lovely and open, and then take the pelvis back to neutral. Just do that once more. The breath in, draw the pelvic floor up. The breath out, pelvic tilt. In your brain, imagine these hip bones pulling up under the waistband area. And as you stay with your heels loaded, your thighs parallel and breathing, you're actually releasing the lumbar appropriately. Next time, you just float back to neutral and then up you stand. So that was your warm-up prep. Your feet are still close together. Go with your hands on the surface of something, squat and stand as slowly as that. So draw the breath from the bottom backwards and draw the trunk upwards and tall. And the hands that are on a surface, if you're using a roller, it's less precise. Whereas if you're using a surface or the top of the chair, it gives you a sense of symmetry. We're staying down in this squat, and you're going back to your pelvic tilt. So breath out, and it's that tiny tilt. The breath in, then float the pelvis back again. Exhaling, keeping the chest open, inhaling and back. Breath out, pelvic tilt, this is the last one. Inhaling and back you go to neutral and stand up. All right, exhale to tiptoes and back down. I'm suggesting you stay with your fingertips because you want this perfectly poised positioning where you roll smoothly through the ankle and the knees stay soft. And if you think of your hamstring and your side glute area lifting you and lowering you, it'll stop it being all calf muscles. You want the whole of the calf and the hamstring and the glute to activate in this, along with the trunk position here. Now let's fold into a squat when we put our heels down. Inhaling to up we come and standing tiptoes. Exhale, hinge at the ankle and the hip. Inhale, roll up into tiptoes and stand up tall. Inhaling, exhaling. Whichever way your breath goes, it really doesn't matter. Often we teach that the inhale should be the standing, lengthening breath and the exhale, the shortening. But in this, the only shortening that's happening really is your hip flexors. So whether you breathe out or in, it's more that the nature of the movement is equal pace. The next time you find yourself up into tiptoes, we'll stay in our tiptoes position. So you're staying here. Stay on your tiptoes. You've now got your flat back squats. So you're lowering and lifting. Inhaling and exhaling. Play around with switching the breath. You might want to see what happens if you do breathe one way and then the other, and whether you get a better connection. Again, keep the hands touching. I'm deliberately giving you a side profile. I think we know enough about what's going on now. The camera's slightly at an angle, so you get more of a 3D effect of me, okay? But I am lined up. The next time you're in your straight back squat, stay. Check both knees are level, breathe. Now breath out, pelvic tilts again without using your glutes. Inhale, exaggerate the neutral. Breathe out. Feel the lifting of your hip bones and breathe in, almost exaggerate the extension of the lumbar spine. Exhaling and inhale and breath out again. You've got one more of these. Inhaling. All the while this is going on, the quad, that's the big muscle group at the front of the leg towards the knee and up to the hip, is working hard. Stay in neutral and increase that sense of length and activation. I told you this was slow and deliberate, it's technical. You're breathing, and rather than it being hugely choreographed, it's hugely targeted. Last two, check your knees are still as they should be. Last one, and all the way up to tiptoes and roll down through the ankle position. Take yourself to turn out, so I've now got my feet turned out. Remember what we say, if you've got a clock face at your foot area, the front of the feet is a 12 and your other feet either side are 10 to or 10 past the hour. From there you've got your squat, both hands equal on the side of a chair and stand. Core connect. Keep the chest beautifully open, collarbones wide, and deliberately create an activation so that rather than thinking only of your legs, you're actually thinking whole body. Heel to head. Go back to that breath. Spread your toes. It's the inhale and plie, and the breath out to stand tall. Now we're going to exhale and stand up and pick up your heels to tiptoes. Keep the inner thighs tight together. Lower down. Go down to the plie squat. Come back up. Tiptoes beautifully tall and long. You plant your heels down, sit your bottom backwards, recruit pelvic floor navel to spine, and up you are into your tippy toes, inner thighs tight together. Obviously I can't see you, but I assume you're squeezing the heels together as you draw upon your inner thigh. Inhaling, don't pull the bum cheeks together. Use your thigh sides and the inner thigh top. Next time you're down in this squat version of it, keep the hands level, you've got your pelvic tilt. So breath out, draw pelvic floor up and imprint, think of the obliques, and then breathe in and exaggerate the extension of the lumbar. In other words, your tailbone reaching up. Exhale, pelvic floor navel to spine. Feel the flexion that doesn't travel up beyond the waist. And inhale, the tailbone, the sitting bones feel as though they tilt to the ceiling. Exhaling. If you do this as I describe it, you'll definitely reorganize, nurture, and realign the pelvic stability sequence. Okay, next time we find ourselves in our neutral, as you come all the way up to stand, pick up to tiptoes in that plie, and you go down again, and you squat. Exhaling, core connect up to tiptoes, plie. As you come down, check your thighs are in equal position. As you come all the way up, zip up and hollow. Look elegant and agile. Use the breath. Use the height. It's your last one. We plie. And we stand in tiptoes. And then we lower back down. Going back to parallel then. Find yourself into a squat again. This is deliberately slow motion work. Check everything's level. Pick up your left foot to tiptoes and reach it slowly backwards. Have a breath in and exhale, slowly drive it forwards and big toe touches and you come back down. So you're hinging, it's almost like single leg work. You're extending, you don't touch the floor, you're reversing back and just standing up without leaning. Inhale to the squat, exhale to reach, inhale to return that leg, and exhale to stand. Two more. Inhaling into the squat, Breathe out and extend your leg. Keep energy there. Inhale to fold it back into the big toe. And exhale to stand. Final one. And grow long. Inhale and push up tall. Now we're going to do the same squat shape. This time the leg will abduct, side, float back in again as it did earlier, and you'll stand up. Inhale into your squat. Exhale, expand. Inhale, float back to symmetry. Exhale and up. Inhaling, find the squat, level pelvis. Exhale to reach the leg out sideways without it touching the floor if you can. Draw it back in again and stand up. Last one for your abduct. No twisting. Lots of breathing, core connection. Returning back in and up. We put the two together. So you go one, out the side and sliding back, drawing back into tiptoe, big toe and standing up. I repeat. Inhale, squat. Exhale, reach and float away. Inhale, come back and exhale, stand up. Inhale, you squat, resist, twist. Exhale as that leg goes out and then backwards. Inhale, it slides in. And exhale, you stand up. The whole side of your bottom, it's known as your medialis abductor work, feels the journey here, and the slow motion version of it all makes it incredibly active. You've got two sides to stand up, ready for your other side. Check everything's got symmetry, and down you find your squat. Use the surface you're on, heel to tiptoes, step your leg back but don't touch it to the floor, slide it back in again, remember, and effortlessly stand up, effortlessly even. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, fold at the hip and the knee, and exhale up. Keep going. You sit back, resisting anything happening across the front of the groin. If it is, you're dropping at the hip and you're losing neutral. So keep things in mind that you know matter. It's always better to decrease the range, to keep the range in the right place. Coming back in. So all the time in the world to breathe. Final moment, inhale. Exhale, spread your toes, load the outside of the foot, stretch the leg. Inhaling back in, I keep letting my head look down at where my feet are, which is fine as long as it's just your neck. Changing now to your abduct. So the leg now pushes to the side effortlessly. It slides back in elegantly, and you stand up beautifully. Let's go again. Inhaling, breath out to push the leg away, breath in to slide it back, and breath out to stand up. Increasing globalization of the, it's a pandemic in your bum, of the side bottom profile. If it's going, as I said, to the front area, it's wrong. It means you're either twisting or shifting, so use more upper body connection to keep it in the right place. Are you ready to add everything together? We find the parallel squat. Push your leg out sideways, float it backwards into your straight line, and then slide all the way in. It's like doing single leg work continuously. Breath in. Exhale to stretch out sideways, drive the leg backwards, and pull yourself upwards and elegantly. Inhaling. Exhaling. And inhaling. And we go down without twist or shift. Abduct, extend through the hip, and return up through the standing leg. Two more. Hinging, reaching to the side, reaching back without twisting the hips, and if anything, it's your hip bone that will roll, and reversing back. You've got your last one. Global activation, remember. Here we go. Use your upper body to help centre the stability from pelvis 2, shoulders 2, and returning back up. So, well done. Take your feet wide now. This is a bit of a stretch. My mat's separating out. So you're back to that kind of 10 to 10 past the hour, and we're back into the hinging squat. Both feet are level with each other. Sit your bottom back, pull your thighs wide open, and stand up. So sitting into your seat bones. If you're not standing close enough to your equipment, which is usually a chair or a mantelpiece or fireplace, the chest would end up feeling as though it's about to touch the equipment that you're holding. Whereas if you're too far back, you're reaching too far. Again, the hip bones want to pull back and forward, go down and stay. Just here then, exhale to your pelvic tilt. So breath out, stop grabbing at your glutes, but pelvic tilt using the oblique and the pelvic floor. Stretch the toes. Feel this space return to the pelvis through the groiny area as you recruit pelvic floor and internal obliques. And breath out. And breath in. Okay, stay in your neutral. Pick up to tiptoes and then come all the way into standing position on tiptoes. Now flat back the squat as you go down and back up. Have a very definite straight position in turn out and a very definite dipped position in turn out. If you need to be slightly hinging at the hip as you go down, that's fine, so long as you come back up again, you really do pull your bum cheeks up into your seat area and imagine the inner thighs pulling all the way up to the pubis. So again, this is just opening your hip, stabilising you, keeping you mobile at the hip. Everything technically accurate. Last time, down we go. Plant your heels down and increase the feeling of range around your seat. To hinge is fine. It gets you into a deeper seat area. No one should feel anything across the sacrum. And you've got the core, belly button to spine, sitting with your hips open and your seat reaching down to your heels. Your knees are pulling out over a turnout of the foot and all the way up to stand. You're ready for your curtsies. Go back to parallel. You're ready for, am I right? No, go to curtsy position. Sorry, forgive me, I lost track. We're into curtsy, ready to do more workload here. So, as you curtsy down, you're in turnout. It's the same sequence, but in turnout. So the turnout's here, remember, 10 to 10 past the hour. You're turning out here, and you're going to have your left foot all the way through the sequence, always coming back to that big toe point. So here we go. You're here, your thighs open. You'll send the leg back, in turnout. You pull it back again, in turnout, and you'll stand up, just as you did earlier. So inhaling, breath out to extend, in turnout, breath in to come back, and stand up, breath out. Inhale, hinging at the hip, breathing out, expand, extend, breathe in and slide back into big toe, and push the ground away using your side bottom, stand tall. We go again, 1, turned out both legs, 2, pulling back in, 3, and pushing the ground away, 4. Repeating, inhale, pulling everything away from the surface and the bar. Exhale to reach the legs still in turnout. Inhale to slide it elegantly back in, standing up tall. Are you ready now for the side? Go down, tap to the side, in turnout, pull it back in turnout, and stand it back up. Do not twist and lean into your standing leg. So we go down, reach, return, and stand. Breathing, inhale into your plie lunge, exhale into your point, Inhale to return back effortlessly. Exhale to push the ground away and stand truly upright. Last time, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Are you ready to join everything together? Inhaling down we go. We go straight to the side with the breath out. And then we reach the leg out sideways, backwards, behind us. And then we plie the standing shape back upright completely. Inhaling. And point. And lateral circling. And returning back up to complete stand to make sure you open that hip. Down you go. Remember, use the work surface, use the chair. Take the leg out, point. Keep the thigh pulling out, point. Pull everything back in, and you're upright. 1, refuse to twist. 2, stabilize, get into your glutes. 3, keep as much turnout without twisting the hips. 4, floating back. Last time, upright, tall, and exhale, resist twist, inhale, and breath out to stand up. Put your other heel down. Are you ready for the other side? Find your curtsy, plie, turn out. Get everything in the right place, pick up to tiptoes. First shape is it goes back, it comes back in, staying in turn out as best you can, and you stand up tall to open the hip. Turning out, both thigh bones. Exhale the leg away. Inhale, pull the leg back, and breath out to properly open the hip into standing poise. Inhaling. Pelvic floor, navel to spine. Spread your toes on that standing leg, but pull your thigh out. Resist twisting, so really hold strongly into the equipment that you're holding on to and stand up properly out of it. We go down, we reach, return, and expand. Last time, hinge, extend but stay in turn out, return that leg back to beginning, and stand up, ready for the side, standing up tall in between every moment. Find your position where you reach back. Push that leg out sideways, pull it back into the position that it was in to start with, and stand up tall. If this is going into the wrong place in your body, then simply do parallel standing leg with as much turnout as you can through the hip without creating congestion and pinching. Are you ready? Inhale this plie, breath out, push the leg away with the breath. Inhale, pull the leg back with the breath in. Exhale, push the ground away as you pull your standing hip forwards. Last time before we join together the dots. We reach, we reverse, and keep the pelvic floor active. Are you ready for the whole thing coming together? Go down, control. Slow motion, we stretch the leg away. Reach it behind you, you're in turn out. When it's directly behind you, pull all the way back up like a dancer would do, elegantly. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling up, and hinging at the hip, you're in turn out both legs. Expand through the floating leg, extend through the floating leg, and draw the floating leg back. And again, you go from stand to hip flexion. You reach the floating leg, the gesture leg, you take it back as far as it'll go, keeping the turn out, and you'll draw it all the way. We're going to do one more because we're good at this. Are you ready? The final one's always the big. Use your breath. Use your breath. And up you go to stand. Okay, that should have felt quite intense. Your next position, you're going to find your roller, and your roller will go under your arms initially, before we end it with a little bit of chest pressing. So you're on hands and knees position. Hold your roller either end of it. And then without the roller going anywhere, you're in all fours, breath out, tilt the pelvis, tuck the bottom under, breathe in, and then breathe out and do the very opposite, pulling the chest forwards. Into extension you go, exaggerating the lumbar area and the thoracic, mid to lower. Exhale and roll. Up into cat, shrink the tummy away from your clothing. And then the next time, all the way down into your extended, some people call it cat-cow. Don't really know what is cow. I always say that, but that's my brain. Okay, people, and find your flat back. Once you're in flat back, you're going to do your chest press, lowering the chest, the roller, and pushing away. I've been adding the head turn because actually it helps one side more open through the pec muscles that are long and the lats and serrats that want to strengthen. So as I turn my head down to the side and then turn it central to come back up, I start bending my elbows wide open. I then turn my head to look one way and I turn and look at the floor. Notice if you can feel what happens as you turn away from one shoulder. The shoulder you've turned away from at the front of it should open, lengthen and strengthen. And remember, if you're core stabilizing and doing your Pilates moves at the same time, you're getting what you need. Just once more each side, people. Exhaling, wide elbows, wider than the roller, head turns. Inhale, final side we go. You start loading forwards, down, 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 turn and smile to the side and pull yourself back up. From that position there, straight into lying on your front. So lying on the front and put your legs tight together. First of all, stretch them, reach them, and from that position there, keep the roller and then just ease yourself up. Keep the roller where it is and bring yourself down. So you can either have your forehead to the roller, elbows wide as you pull, chest forwards, collarbones wide open, up you come. Use your glutes as part of your connection, keep the legs long, and then bend at your elbows to get into that upper thoracic. Now if you feel a bit freer, push the roller away. My back of the wrist is on the roller. Exhale, draw the thighs tight together and pull yourself up. Find your shoulder stabilizers, find your glutes. Refuse to feel anything in your lower back. Exhale and bending the elbows, down you go and roll your arms away. Big breath in. Exhaling, rib cage, bend your elbows, roll into the crown of the head, thighs tight together and extend up through the thoracic. Refuse to jam into your lumbar, so use your glutes and your thighs as you bend your elbows and you roll it away. That should have opened up your chest, stretch you through your shoulder, and you're now ready for seated on the roller. So sitting, both seat bones either side and sat up tall. Find your stability, organise your clothing and check your knees are level. Keep the breath going. All right, inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, open them out sideways. And inhale, return them back without rounding the shoulder. Inhaling up. Exhale, reach, shoulders away from the neck. And inhale, pull them forwards. Exhale, core connect. Inhale, arms float, shoulders stay still. Exhale, arms reach out. And inhale, just fold at the armpit to find your position here. You're going to go into backwards rolling, so big breath in. Breath out, start to roll off your sitting bones until you find your hands to the sides of your knee. Stay there, big breath in. And then breathe out, chin to chest. Up you roll and sit tall again, inhaling. Breathe out, rib cage. Find your pelvic floor. Start to tilt, to roll towards the sacrum. Keep everything level from left to right thigh. Breathe in, breathe out, bend your rib cage, and just sitting up tall again. This next time you're going to go down and lie the spine along the roller. So feet have to be level. Check that everything is as it should be. Breathe deeply in. Exhale, pelvic floor, rib cage. Roll off your tailbone, sitting bone, towards the sacrum. Keep looking at the thighs as you lower down one vertebra at a time until you find yourself lying on your back. Now, if you need to shimmy down there and organise your clothing, if you have, like I've got a knot at the back of my top, get rid of anything, even zip bulks, get rid of them if you're on the roller. If you're on the floor, that's fine, everything is still good. You still need to have a quick look up at where your thighs are, your knees are. First thing we do, remember, this is a technical moment. If you need a pad under your head, use it. Otherwise, keep the chin drawn in. So find, we call it the occipital bone, balance there. It's as though your nose points across the ceiling. My nose should follow my arms in my mind. Thumb to rib cage, fingertips to hip bones, and just relax but breathe deeply. Inhaling and exhaling. You're aiming to not tuck your bottom under so much as get more and more of your rib cage spine along the roller. Inhaling and feel the journey, the shortening between the rib and the pelvic area. Inhaling the ribs and exhaling, they draw down. All right, your next breathing in and out should keep your rib cage placement. That's what we've just done. We're now going to do curling up. So inhale to pull the chin to the throat and look across your ceiling. Exhale to reach your middle finger arms forwards. Look at where your knees are. Have a breath in. And breathing out reluctantly. Keep looking down the body until you find your head back down. Inhale to prepare. Chin nod. Exhale. Up you roll. Inhale to stay where you are. Exhaling. And down you go. You 3 more like this. Chin nod, inhale. Exhaling, pelvic floor, navel to spine. Do it all by the book. Inhale once you're up there with your nose pointing to the pubis. Breath out. Lay that part of the spine down again. Breath in. And breath out. Roll. Look to the pelvis, not the ceiling. Relax your shoulders away from your neck, but reach in the direction of the bend and returning back down again. You should feel the spine sequentially come back down. Last time, people, exhaling, the chin has already nodded. The breath out leads you up there. You stay breathing in and breathing out. Now exhale and pelvic tilt. Inhale and release. If you want to put both hands behind your head, so the pelvic tilt, make sure that you get your pelvic floor and your obliques to work. There's nothing to do with the glutes here. It's all the internal oblique, external oblique, and lower the spine down. You're going to stay in your neutral position. The harder this is, requires the feet and thighs to come tighter together. So if you're relatively good on the roller because you use it all the time, try having your legs a whisper apart. Everyone, your arms are reaching up in the air. I appreciate you can't look to screen and lie on a roller, trust me. We've got our arms vertical, palms facing each other as though we're going to clap, but chest width apart. Breathing in, I'm going to slide the shoulder blades away from the rib cage, and then breathing out as my ribs come down to placement. I'm going to pull the scapula, the shoulder blades against the roller, give it a mini squeeze, and inhale, reverse again. So you've got taking shoulder blades away from each other, and the exhale, pulling the shoulder blades to each other for a bit of a squeeze. Inhaling, exhaling. Just once more. Inhaling and exhaling. Now inhaling, let your arm, one go behind the head, one go down to the thigh, and exhaling, pull them back together so they're next to each other. Opposite side, inhale, one arm reaches backwards, one arm down. Exhale the rib cage, know where your heels are, and return arms so they face each other. Inhaling, seesaw arms. Exhaling, rib cage, armpit, lats and serrats. Get this right, because next week we will add hand weights to this little sequence, okay? If you can get the alignment and the trunk stability, you'll only add to what's going on in the body. Now the hand weights won't be anything like Rick Pownell's hand weights that he videoed using yesterday that looked like they belonged in CrossFit. Okay people, the next time your arms at palms facing each other, stay and place them to the floor. Have your fingertips touching the floor, palms of the hands to the floor. Bring one leg up into tabletop and then breath out, curl up and breathe in and go back down. Breathe out. As you curl, your elbow will bend, elbows bend and back down. It's back to the chin nod. So breath out, up we go, inhaling back down, breathing out to roll and breathing in. Now keeping one arm up, exhale, curl and inhale. Obviously the arm up in the air is your left arm. So your right leg's in the air, bent in tabletop. Your left arm is also rolling through the rib cage with you. Your hamstrings and glutes on the floor leg are still active because they're posteriorly stabilizing. Exhaling and back down you go. Place your other hand down, pick your other leg up and just have a moment there, breathing in and out. Stretch the legs, keep the chin to the chest. Inhale, bend the legs. Exhale, curl, both legs straighten. Inhale, down you go. And breathe out. Imprint the rib cage, imprint the lumbar. Breathing out. Try not to throw the head down. Have the discipline of looking. Rolling up into shortened rib, belly, navel. Rolling down into lengthened spine. Last two. Keep the legs absolutely level. And use your inner thighs. Last one. Next time you go down, stay down. This time you're going to put your right foot on the floor. Keep it relatively close to the midline of the body. And exhale, curl up. And inhaling, down you go. Leave one arm up in the air, breathe out, roll, reach the hands to the floor leg, inhale and back. Pelvic floor, navel to spine. Pelvic floor, navel to spine, resist, twist. Exhaling, bend the chin in and then lengthen back out. If it's too much on your neck, hand behind the head and up you come and down you go. Exhaling. Remember, both sides of your body never have either the same range of movement and therefore rarely have the same range of strength. So curling on the breath out and uncurling on the inhale. Last time, exhale, curl on the breath out. Put the hand down and bring both legs up. So the final moment here is the dip of one foot. Exhale and dip. So doing this, I haven't done this workout to kill you off. I've done this workout to technically wake you up. So if you're working hard here, you will get everything working, pelvic floor, imprinting the lumbar continuously, and the movement will appear fluent and the exchange of leg to leg easy. People, the next time, if you want to, you can curl and uncurl, curl and uncurl. On the curl and uncurl version, the knees come together as you roll down. The split legs happen as you roll up. Your breath out and your breath in. Breath out and breath in. in theory, you can't throw your head back, but it's easier said than done. Once more each side. You don't have to go to the floor with the leg that's touching down, it just has to be thighs separating out. And when you come back down, stay, put your feet down and slide off your roller sideways. Okay, from that position there, we've just got to do some thigh stretch. Kneeling up, your body should feel beautifully open and long. You know the thigh stretch, where I'm in a seated neutral position, so my hip bones are pulling up to my oblique area, my armpits, and then inhaling, I pull the roller to my clavicles, sternum area, lean back, exhale, push it all the way back, pull it past my face and pull the trunk up. And I repeat, I'll lean backwards, really pull the hip bones, the ribs, float the roller past the head, pull the roller back, and here we go. Now stay where you are, put the roller on the head, side bend, and center, breathe, pull up on your hip bones, remember, so your sense of pulling your hip bones towards your jawline, of connecting by wrapping your glute muscles around your seat area. And the thighs stay beautifully lengthened, the side bend is the rib cage. Last time, exhale, and inhale, and roller to the floor, fingers on the roller. I'm going to turn and give you a side view. This is your final release stretch. So we've gone from here, fingertips to the roller, exhaling then, round the spine and roll that roller away until you end up in extension. Everything from the shoulders, make sure there's no pain. Huge inhale here, breath out, tilt, roll, and you're back to your all fours again, aren't you, around that. Inhale, final one, breathe out and follow your breath. Relax your shoulders, drape your wrists, and let your upper thoracic and your shoulder area open. A little rockabye moment here, as long as there's no pain anywhere. And then finishing off, pull your bottom towards your feet and roll until you end up back. Okay, people, that's a final moment for you. Reorganise your clothing, and I'm coming to say goodbye. It's been wonderful again. I hope you appreciated the slight difference in the workout. It was all largely technically based, bar work and also roller work. From there then, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and hopefully you got the actual workout and we didn't lose connection. Bye bye.